What's going on, everybody? This is TAETRO, and you guys requested it. Today we're going to be breaking down my ROLI Blocks and Ableton performance. Let's check it out. Okay, first things first, if you enjoy live electronic music performances, tutorials, and free sound packs, be sure to click that subscribe button down below. Also, feel free to let me know if you have any questions following this video in the comments. If you haven't seen the original performance, click the link in the description, watch it in a new tab, and then come back and check out the tutorial. But for now, let's jump into the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing we need to do to set up the blocks is connect them either by USB cable or by Bluetooth. And I did that by Bluetooth by going to the audio MIDI settings, show MIDI studio, Bluetooth, and then clicking connect on each block. After we've connected each block, we can open up Blocks dashboard and they'll be recognized. Let's click on the light pad block and click browse. For now, we're going to put the light pad block into melodic block mode, which will give us a setup of a major scale, but also give us access to the chromatic notes in between. Next, we're going to set up the loop block. I'm always starting with the built-in controls for the specific blocks. So we're going to go ahead and load up the loop block CC controller. And there's just a couple minor changes we have to make. In order to toggle on and off the metronome, I turned the click track button to toggle, and I did the same with the record button, which eventually will become our session record button. You can go as far as to edit the colors of the buttons when they're switched on and off, so I just went ahead and did that for my record button on the loop block, so it would turn red when it was on and recording. Then we go to live block, and do pretty much the same thing, just load up the live MIDI controller mode, and I don't think I made any changes there. Okay, that's all the setup we need for now in the Blocks dashboard. Now we're gonna go over into Ableton. In Ableton, I was set up with a live set that had all of my tracks ready to go. I also started off with a timekeeping loop, which is something I usually do in my live sessions. This way you don't have to hear the metronome in a session. First, I needed to map a way to navigate around in live without having to use the laptop. For that, I used the loop block. I assigned the plus and minus signs to scroll up and down scenes, and the first row of 5 buttons controlled launching clips across the 5 tracks in the selected scene. The record button I used as my session record button, which would automatically record any clip of an armed track that was selected. It would even work to overdub, which I used on my percussion track when I added in the tambourine. On the live block, I used the top row of 5 buttons to arm corresponding tracks 1 through 5. The bottom row of buttons on the live block controlled a set of beat repeats that I used as master effects. Since in the Blocks dashboard these buttons were set to toggle plus, I can just press them and release them to trigger on and off the effect. Each button was essentially a different rate of beat repeat, which made it fun to improvise with the effects later on in the set. To be able to use the light pad block across a number of different instruments and octaves, I had to set a pitch MIDI device on each track to make sure that it was set to the correct octave. Because there's no current way to switch your light pad block's octave on the fly, you would have to go back into the Blocks dashboard and switch the root note. Instead, I set up the MIDI pitch to be at the correct starting note. So especially for drum racks that start at C1, this is very different than a lead instrument that might start at C3. This way I didn't have to switch back to the laptop to change the octave or anything like that. I could just scroll through the instruments and already be where I needed to be. I really enjoy the flexibility that the Blocks dashboard offers. They give you a ton of control, everything from the light color to the type of CC message you're sending. And it seems like they're making it super open, so people who do more advanced coding of MIDI controllers are going to be able to come up with custom scripts of their own. Alright, there you have it. That's how I created my Ableton Live performance with the ROLI Blocks. I hope that was easy to follow. I'm really excited for what's to come with the ROLI Blocks and the Blocks dashboard. They're giving us a ton of control, and to have wireless MIDI controllers with this level of expression and quality is really exciting. If you enjoy live electronic music performances, tutorials, and free sound packs, click that subscribe button down below. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. This has been TAETRO. Have a good one.